As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
I had to go with Joe Mixon. What
Woo!
a day by Joe Mixon. 5 touchdowns, 22 carries, 153 yards on the ground with 4 touchdowns, 4 receptions, 58 yards, and a touchdown through the air for him. He put up a good one in what was a really interesting game. They end up going out and beating Carolina pretty bad, but Baker Mayfield comes in and throws a couple of touchdowns. How about that?
It made me feel good for Baker because now PJ Walker did not have a good day, and that game was over quickly.
Right.
I mean, the Bengals offense was just going straight up and down the field, but it was fun watching Mixon have that kind of impact. I can only imagine how many fantasy football games he won for people. I mean, you were one of them.
This guy right here.
Congratulations, sir. But man, it felt good to watch Baker go out there and play pretty well. I enjoyed it, and I think everyone was like, okay, yeah, it was one of those things that was nice to see. Guy's been through it these last couple of years. Watch him go out there, sling it around a little bit, play well. It was cool.
No, it was very cool. That was awesome though. Joe Mixon putting up a monster day. That was awesome to see. And I don't know. We'll see what the future holds for Baker. What do you think? Just quickly, not to get caught up on a tangent, but what's the future hold? 1 year deal for Baker. What's it going to look like for the future for him, you think?
I would assume his days of being a starter are over.
Yeah.
And I just, that's kind of the reality of the situation. So if I was him, I'd try to get to Tampa as fast as I could.
Yep.
And soak up everything I could from Tom Brady. And if Brady keeps playing, which maybe he doesn't, but I'd take $12 to go and try to be like, all right, teach me everything, man. I want to know it all. But yeah, he's going to be a backup somewhere probably that has an established high-paid starter. And I think he's going to be a great locker room guy. He can play 10 more years in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, he can, but there's also part of me that thinks that he could get out and walk on to the stage of College Game Day or Big Noon Kickoff and be a star, be a media star.
Yeah.
In college football, I think he would crush that, or even I mean maybe the NFL stuff too. But I think he could be a massive college football content star.
It's got a huge personality. There's no doubt about that. Yep, I agree.
So I don't know, but I'll put it this way: I'm not worried about our man Baker Mayfield's future. I think he'll be just fine, one way or the other.
On the beach for the rest of his life if he wants to.
Yeah. All right. Who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
The Green Bay Packers.
Oh my goodness. 9.
Green Bay Packers are now 3-6 on the season. They just got beat by Detroit, put up 9 points, lost in a final score that I guarantee no one had. 15-9. They lose to the Lions, and they had Lions score a fourth quarter touchdown, but the Packers have plenty of opportunities late with drives to go down and win the football game. They just couldn't get anything going. It's incredible. Are we watching the end for Aaron Rodgers?
Did you see the throw to Bakhtiari in the end zone that he threw for the interception?
I missed that one.
They basically ran a tackle eligible, oh shit screen to the backside. Just he blocks and releases, right?
Yeah.
Wide open. You just have to go watch it. I can't even describe what happened.
Just throws it to the wrong person?
Yeah, to a Detroit guy. And Bakhtiari, you could see him, he's like, wait, what? It was a bizarre play.
Huh. Threw 3 interceptions, which, Aaron Rodgers has gone through entire seasons where he's thrown 3 interceptions. Like, it's just the guy is not himself. And maybe it's the ayahuasca in the off season. I don't know what it is, the psychedelics. I don't know what's going on, but definitely not himself. 3 interceptions. Pretty brutal day for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Dude, I'm watching it again right now. Like, Aiden Hutchinson, he throws the pass like 10 yards short of him. It was, I don't know, it was unbelievable. And Aiden Hutchinson intercepted it. So, I don't know, man, but I feel like the Packers have been our loser of the weekend a lot.
3-6, the Packers.
They scored 9 against that Detroit defense.
It is not a good division right now. The NFC North is not what we're used to it typically.
Vikings fans are feeling good, man.
Vikings are 7-1, okay, but after that, you go all the way back to the Packers and the Bears at 3-6 and the Lions at 2-6, which Fields is starting to get it together a little bit, starting to play a little bit better ball. So yeah. I don't know, wild.
All right, let's get to my winner and loser
for Aaron Rodgers.
All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first,
First Fidelity Bank is a full-service financial institution based in Oklahoma with tailored solutions for all your personal and business needs. Checking accounts, saving accounts, home loans, and much more. They do it all. Whether it's online banking from your computer or mobile banking from your phone, everything is stress-free with FFB. Making mobile deposits, paying bills online, and moving money to different accounts could not be easier. First Fidelity Bank provides free ATMs worldwide, making banking convenient wherever you are. They also give back to the community. FFB donates a total of more than $500,000 to local charities and educational foundations. Make your life easier and go bank with First Fidelity Bank. Visit ffb.com for more information.
And if you're a whiskey or bourbon drinker, stop what you're doing. Head to your favorite liquor store and buy some Balcones products. You got to grab some of Balcones Lineage Single Malt Whiskey. It was just voted one of the top 20 whiskeys in the world by Whiskey Advocate, and you'll be shocked by how affordable it is. Also, you got to snag some of Balcones Baby Blue Corn Whiskey.
It's made from blue corn. That's the fancy corn.
And that is why it has won more than 25 awards. Last but certainly not least, you got to buy some of Balcones Pot Still Bourbon. Its big flavors make it the perfect bourbon to drink year-round. Remember in 2012, Balcones Single Malt won the Best in Glass competition, beating brands like Johnnie Walker and Macallan. This stuff is the real deal, people. If you love great whiskey and bourbon at a great price, then Balcones products are the only way to go. The whiskey may be made in Texas, but the owners are from Oklahoma. To find a liquor store that has it, visit balconesdistilling.com. All right, for my winner of the weekend, and this is not going to make a lot of people that listen to this podcast happy, thought about going with Caleb Williams. 5 total touchdowns. I watched pretty much every play of that game. Our buddy Dusty Dvorak was on the call for it. Caleb Williams was great for USC. Trojans now 8-1. And I think Caleb Williams has a very, very good opportunity to win the Heisman Trophy. Because some underwhelming performances from Hendon Hooker, Bryce Young. Bryce Young kind of feels like he's been eliminated now that they're a 2-loss team. Hendon Hooker, everyone and their dog was watching that game, and he's not going to have that big game now, right? He's not going to play in an SEC championship game. CJ Stroud was dealing with some awful weather. So, I mean, he didn't put up great stats, but yeah, coming out of the weekend with how things kind of shook out, as things sit right now, I think Caleb Williams has the best chance of anyone to win the Heisman Trophy.
Here's the thing with that. There's one problem. Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to happen, but Bo Nix is probably going to win the Pac-12, and his numbers are incredible. They're better than Caleb Williams.
This is crazy to say out loud because we're talking about Bo Nix.
I know.
the Pac-12 championship game, because remember, USC and Oregon do not play each other in the regular season.
They have to beat UCLA to get there.
They got to beat UCLA. They also got to beat Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Who all of a sudden, that does not look like a very easy task. We'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very possible that the Pac-12 championship game could be for a spot in the playoff and for the Heisman Trophy.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Bo Nix, his numbers are incredible. He's been amazing. Even on the ground. I think he's got 11 or more rushing touchdowns on the ground. It's been exceptional.
And CJ Stroud, that Michigan game, like if he lights up Michigan,
yeah,
then Stroud's probably, he probably ends up winning it. But Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, that could be God, the Pac-12, that could be the Pac-12 dream, and there'll be about 12 people that watch that game.
I know. It'll be like the last game ever played in the Pac-12, and then the whole conference dissolves.
Yeah. I also thought about going with Mattress Mack.
Woo!
Houston Astros win the World Series, and from reports, Mattress Mack won approximately $75 million on various bets that he had on the Astros to win the World Series. Reports say the largest payout in sports betting history. I know he's offsetting some furniture deals he gave people because they won, but I mean, 75 mil.
I know one of the worst things that's ever happened to the sports gambling industry is the Houston Astros getting good, because Mattress Mack has absolutely cleaned house on years where they're incredible. That's insane.
Yeah. But good for you, Mattress Mack. But my winner of the weekend, the bowl eligible Kansas Jayhawks.
Wow.
Bowl eligible for the first time since 2008, and they did it in dominant fashion. And we didn't know if this team was going to get their sixth win after Jalen Daniels going down, kind of the downturn their season had taken, but they smacked a depleted Oklahoma State. But listen, Oklahoma State, they physically were there, but they did not show up, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That did not look like a team that wanted to play a football game in Lawrence, Kansas. I'll just say that.
Yeah, that's one of those. It kind of felt like the Kansas State game to a certain degree, where you look up at 7-0 and then it just continues to grow on you. It's wild.
And I will say it was very cool that Devin Neal was, and Jason Bean was awesome in this game. Don't get me wrong, but Devin Neal in that run game, oh my gosh, just so many chunk runs, but that he was the guy that kind of carried him to getting that sixth win and the bowl eligibility, because he's a Lawrence guy. He's a local guy. He could have gone a lot of different places. He stayed and went to Kansas. And I'm sure he's had many a night where he was thinking, why the hell did I stay and go to Kansas? And
he's going to be an absolute legend now.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. Bean threw it well. He ran it well. Had the big touchdown run. And it was a rough day for Garrett Rangel. That was 3 picks. Also, he had that fumble on the 4th and 1. It fumbles the snap. Didn't even get to, I don't know if they're going to QB sneak it or run dive or what they were going with. Doesn't matter. Couldn't handle the snap. And Lance Leipold's got the Kansas Jayhawks going to a bowl game, man. It's pretty awesome.
And they're not done yet. They got their 6th win. They're going to a bowl game, but they're going to be trying to play spoiler down the stretch. And we know that it's a tough team. That is a capable team of beating anyone in this conference on any given weekend right now.
The fact that Kansas may finish the year with a better Big 12 record than Oklahoma makes me not well.
Yeah.
Let's just move on. Let's not.
Hey, let them have some success. I'm happy for them. Lance Leipold's going to be gone. I mean, the bad part of it for them is like the better they do, the worse their future looks.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, for my loser of the weekend, thought about going with Illinois. Brett Bielema had the Illini playing some good football, and head scratcher, they lose to Michigan State in Champaign, 23-15. If you're wondering, if you're saying, oh, I didn't see any of that game, how'd they lose? Well, 5 turnover on downs. That's how. 1 for 6 on 4th down on the day for Bielema's boys. And yeah, that's how you lose. That's how you lose to Michigan State.
That's brutal. But another really good, really quick turnaround that he's done there at Illinois. That's been impressive. But
Yeah.
gosh, that's one that you thought that, like, whenever you looked at the schedule, especially as Michigan State got, not off to a very hot start, you thought, okay, there's one that they're going to be able to pull off. That's painful.
Yeah. Also thought about going with Clemson.
Woo.
Dabo said it best after the game. This was an ass kicking, period. That's a quote from Dabo. I mean, he was hurt after the game. I think he called it like one of the low points of his coaching career. I mean, they got smacked by Notre Dame in South Bend, and it was everything. Had a punt blocked for a touchdown. That offense continues to really struggle. Uiagalelei was really bad, so they went to Klubnik. Klubnik came in, throws an interception right away, so they bring DJU back. He then throws a pick 6. Like, it was awful offensively, and then defensively, Notre Dame ran it straight down their face, man. 263 on the ground on that Clemson defense is, whew. Buddy, this was a whooping in South Bend.
I will say some people did see this one coming, Gabe. Not a lot of them out there, but some people
you
did
called
see
it. You
coming.
said Notre Dame was going to win the football game when we talked about this on Sooner Game Day.
I got one thing right all week, and I also said we were going to beat Baylor, and I felt great about that. So I know nothing.
Well,
Notre Dame,
you should feel better. You were right about this. You weren't that wrong about the Baylor thing. You almost did win.
Right.
You were very right about the Notre Dame thing.
Well, I appreciate that. That's a good way to spin it.
Positivity, Ted. My loser of the weekend, though, the Buffalo Bills. How about those Jets, Ted? What's up?
NFL, man. It's crazy.
That's a big win for Saleh and them, especially they found it. They fell into, what was it, 14-3 early, big hole. It kind of felt like, oh, well, Bills are going to just work them. And they, from that point on, they kind of held Josh Allen in check as a passer. Of course, he did some damage with his legs because he's just a freak of nature, but pretty nice job by the Jets defense. Hit Allen a lot. He did not look like he was feeling very good at the end of that game. Zach Wilson was fine. No critical errors, right? But
that's
you forced Josh Allen. Yeah, you forced Josh Allen to throw a couple interceptions, and listen, man, you get one of the best wins in the NFL this season. That's a hell of a win for the Jets.
Yep. Play conservative offensively. Don't let a young quarterback make mistakes and throw you out of a football game. Lean on your defense. Try and win the field position game, and it can be hard against a quarterback like Josh Allen, but that conservative approach, if you can hold up on the defensive side, force some bad plays and a couple of picks, win the turnover battle, you're in business. And that's how it played out for the Jets.
Yeah.